Hey everybody, welcome to the Otherz podcast. I'm your host, Steve Penny. Joining me, well, I was going to say joining me as always, but you weren't here last time. But
yeah,
he is back. He has returned. He has one extra person in tow with him now. So Rafa, well, firstly, congratulations. And
thank you, man.
secondly, how are you?
Alive, I guess. I'm good, man. I'm not going to complain. But I just had a newborn. She's a month and 2 weeks, and she's still alive. Also, I didn't let the thing.
That's always the most important part, I feel. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm super tired, but also super happy. She's beautiful. Her name is Nina, and yeah, man, I'm good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're both a bit sleep deprived at the moment. So apologies for those that watch the video of this and have to witness either of us just yawning in the background. I will do my best to edit out the audio parts of it so you don't have to at least listen to us yawning, but you may have to kind of see it on the video. But yes,
Thanks,
you
man.
have, we've been away for a while. You've obviously returned with something. I've returned without something. So yeah, you gained a baby. I lost an internal organ. So we've had an eventful 6 weeks, haven't we?
Oh yeah, man. Such a adventure.
It's not an adventure I want to go on again. I'll be perfectly honest.
Oh yeah. Maybe I don't want also the same adventure again.
Yeah,
It's going to be the first and the last one.
One's enough. One's enough. Yes.
But a lot of people say that after a year or 2 years, dads and moms, like for some reason, they forgot how hard the first ones were, and they were like, "Oh, okay, let's do another baby." And I was like, "How you forget such a hard time, man?"
It's like getting a tattoo. You know, it's the first one's a bit painful, but once you've got one, you're like, "Oh, I could maybe get another one. I could do that again. That's all right." And then you go for a full back, and it's like, no, okay, that was too much. Fuck, that's too much.
Yeah, man.
But yes, one is probably enough. So we're not going to do a track this week as we normally do because we've been away for a number of weeks. So we're just going to kind of round up some news that we haven't talked about over the last month or so. So this shouldn't be a particularly long episode, but we'll kind of go through like the key bits of news and stuff like that. So first of all, I just want to say a thanks to all the kind of people that messaged me on Instagram the last sort of few weeks. I think I posted something about this, but it's like, this is why I love the internet. I love being online and having this kind of community because I got like well wishes from people like all over the world, people I've never met in my life, people that I just talk to via Instagram or that they listen to the podcast or whatever. So yeah, just a massive thank you to all of those that reached out the last sort of few weeks. I did survive. I am alive. Just had I left it another day or two, I don't know if I would be. It was quite bad, but yes, we're making it through. We're doing all right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I also want to thank everybody that sent you the message because when I asked you what you got, like what was happening, and you sent me like, "Oh, I got this," and when I instantly Google it, and man, it can be such an alarming thing, right?
Never Google health stuff.
Bro,
Never.
yeah, man. So the first page, I was like, "Oh, my man is going to die, man. What the?" you know, I was scared. I was like, I remember, like, I think you got the message. Like, I started to message a lot, like, "Oh man, what is happening?"
Yeah.
I got scared, and I told Juliana. Juliana also was like, and she was like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah,
This
shout out to you guys for messaging me and checking in on me most days to make sure I was still alive. It was much appreciated. But yes,
Yeah,
it was,
man.
in all honesty, yeah, I didn't realize kind of quite how bad it was. For those that don't know, I don't know if I posted about like what it was and stuff, but I had sepsis, so blood poisoning basically. And I had it pretty bad. It'd been going on for quite a while and I thought it was something else and didn't realize. So my heart was fucked, my blood pressure was fucked, and I was in a pretty bad state. And then obviously they have to work out where you've got this infection from, where in your body it came from. And for me, they managed to trace it back to my kind of gallbladder. So then they were like, okay, So your gallbladder's fucked. So we have to take that out, basically. You can live without it. So, yeah, I had a couple of sort of operations and, yeah, lost the gallbladder. But, yeah, now a few weeks later, starting to feel a bit better. Still a bit sore, achy still. Got some cool scars that are starting to heal. But, yeah, all right now. Like I say, yeah, I'm alive. So that's the important
Thanks.
thing.
Yeah, it is, man. And I wanna ask everybody that send the kind message to Steve and asking how he was feeling to also send him a message that's take care of himself from now on. Please,
I was
Steve.
taking care of myself. I went to
I
the
don't care,
doctor.
man. Clearly not enough. So yeah, please, man.
Yes, but yeah, we're all better now. But because of that, that meant I joined your club. I didn't get to go to Paris to the Clipse.
Yeah, man.
Had the tickets, had all the flights booked, all that sort of stuff. They did. I was in hospital for about a week, and they let me out at like lunchtime on Friday. And my flight was at about 6:00 on Friday. And the doctor was like, you can go home for the weekend. Then you need to come back to the hospital Monday for like your proper surgery and stuff. And I was like, I've got a flight booked this evening. Would it be quite sort of stupid and irresponsible of me if I went and got that flight and
Jesus.
went to Paris? And he just looked at me and was just like, yes, just go home. Just go home, please.
Insane, man.
I was like, okay, thanks. Yeah. So yes, unfortunately, I missed out on that gig that I was very much looking forward to.
I'm
But there
sorry.
were a few. No, it's all good. There were a few friends of the podcast that were there and did still meet up. Yeah, shout out to those guys. I'm gutted I didn't get to sort of meet them all. And James obviously I met a few times, but I was looking forward to meeting some of the other guys as well. There'll be another one at some point,
Yeah, man.
and then
100%.
we'll all meet up and we'll all do it. But just on that, one of the people that did go was a sort of friend via Instagram, Badr, who is Last Call for Neptune on Instagram. Really lovely guy. I've bought lots of bits and pieces off of him in the past. He's got a really good OG BBC collection. In the past, he's kind of sent me little gifts and things like that. And I was really looking forward to meeting him because I think he's from the south of France or a bit further south than Paris. He was getting the train up. So obviously didn't see him, but I've got to say a massive shout out to him because firstly, he was the plug for me for getting a new Liverpool shirt that I wanted that was sold out everywhere. He was going to give it to me at the gig. Obviously I didn't go, so he was going to post it to me. He posted it to me. I went to the post office to collect it. It's a football shirt. I assume it would just come in like a little plasticky bag thing. Some big cardboard box, lift it up. Like, this is much heavier than a football shirt. So inside, there's obviously the football shirt, but then there's like boxes of chocolates. There was an OG Bape magazine, 2005 Bape magazine, one of those little collector's ones. There was an OG BBC keychain in there, a really nice one, still in like the original packaging. And I messaged him and I was like, oh man, like, you didn't need to do this. What's this? And he was like, you couldn't make it to France. So, I sent a little bit of France over to you in Finland. So
that's nice.
Yeah, man, I got to say, much love to Badr for, doing that. He didn't need to do that. He could have just easily just posted me the shirt and, that's it. That's all I would have expected. But yeah, he sent me some nice little gifts and stuff as well. So yeah, really appreciate it. And that makes me even more determined to either get back over to France at some point in the near future or for us to arrange some kind of meet up where we can all kind of get together and go and do something.
Yeah, man. I would love that. I was talking with James, like, we definitely need to do some meetup with all the guys. Like,
yes,
most of the guys that we can, and girls, like, everybody.
Everyone's welcome.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, going forward, if anyone spots like a really interesting gig that's in like doesn't necessarily need to be a central sort of location. I think most of us are able to kind of travel wherever sort of in Europe, but obviously if it's nearer to one of us, the better for some. But yeah, if anything kind of crops up, then, people do feel free to reach out to us and, see if it's sort of doable. Because I'm always up for sort of traveling to places and meeting people. And obviously, your situation's a bit different at the moment, Rafa, with the baby and stuff. I'm sure in the future, once things settle down a little bit and you get into some routines, there might be some possibility you can get away for a couple of days as well somewhere. So yeah, we should try and do something.
Yeah, of course, 100%.
Yes. So speaking of the clips, let's get into some clips news, because there's a few bits and pieces from the last sort of few weeks. I think probably just after we did the last sort of podcast, I think with the two of us, they gave out the Grammy nominations. Clips have got 5 nominations at the Grammys.
Yeah, man.
Pretty decent.
Amazing, man. What a comeback, man. Amazing.
Yeah. To have such a good rollout, to have like a pretty much sold out tour across the US and Europe, to be, perform at the Vatican and be involved in all the Louis Vuitton stuff, and
yes,
just everything about the album has just been pretty much near perfect. And to round that off with 5 Grammy nominations.
Yeah.
That's that's the sort of icing on the cake, not the cherry on the top of the cake, but the icing. And I think, if they take home at least a couple of Grammys, then that will be the pinnacle of it.
Yeah, exactly. And I just want to add that somebody in Def Jam is punching the air right now. I mean, he's punching the air for a very long time now.
Like, I think we talked about this last time, but if you're the person that worked with them to get that deal done, and you're that person in Def Jam that was in charge of it, you're the A&R, you're the kind of representative at Def Jam, you're the lawyer, whoever it is, they must be punching themselves, man.
Yeah.
They've got a bit of money, because obviously Clips had to pay the money to get out the deal. But I'm pretty sure the money Clips are bringing in from streaming, tours, merch, all of that sort of stuff, all the publicity it's bought, and it's bought a lot of publicity.
Yeah.
If you're Def Jam, you're just like, oh, what did we do? How did we fuck this up so bad?
Yeah, man. I remember seeing a video about the worst music deals ever. And I remember seeing a manager that he didn't want to produce Nirvana's first album, which cost $1,000, and he went to produce a rock glam rock band, and I think it cost $1 million. But it was exactly the time when glam rock was on the beginning of the end, and I was like, oh man, so this Def Jam deal with the Clips and the lost in the deal when they split it up, I think is going to be for the books, remember as one of the worst non-deals or break of deals ever.
Yeah, because they obviously announced the deal at Def Jam, and then we saw nothing. I assume they were kind of working in the background on the rollout, finalizing the album, etc., etc. But yeah, nothing was kind of put out at all. So just such a waste of time and money for everybody involved, basically, including Clips as well, because obviously that's their time taken up. They're having to work on the album and do certain things. Then they're obviously having to have all these sort of meetings around what Def Jam mainly didn't like and wanted to kind of change. And then they've got to stump up the cash as well to kind of get out of the deal. So just such a waste of time, but they've got on to obviously better things, bigger and better things.
Oh yeah, huge things.
So we've
amazing.
So we've got an album of the year nomination, and that's a tough category. That's got Kendrick in it, Justin Bieber's in there, is it Bad Bunny's in there, Lady Gaga, a few other people as well. So I think that's going to be Tyler is in there as well. So that's going to be a tough one. They've got best rap performance for Whips and Chains. So that's one they could possibly get. Best rap album, best music video for So Be It. And then there's a fifth one, but I looked through the whole website, the whole Grammy website earlier today, and I couldn't find out what the fifth one was. It wasn't listed. Only 4 were listed. Okay. So I can't remember what the fifth one is. So album, best rap performance, best rap album, best music video, and the fifth one I'm not sure. But I was kind of quite surprised as I went through the list that you get producer of the year, classical, non-classical. I was quite surprised Pharrell wasn't in that list.
Oh, really?
Even just based off of that album alone, I would have thought that could have potentially gotten him a nomination. And then I think, during the rest of the year, I can't think of anything else that's been massive. for him, but he has collaborated with a lot of people and a lot of big names throughout the course of the year. And there's been sort of a lot of stuff sort of tied to his name. And again, you know, even like the Voices of Fire stuff. I know that album didn't get like, it's not had like a proper commercial release. It's on streaming and obviously you can pay to like download it and stuff. But having the collaborations with some of the kind of K-pop groups and people like that he's been working with this year, I just would have thought his name, and then to obviously round the year off with the Clipse album, I would have thought his name would have been in there.
And myself, I wasn't surprised because, especially right now, I think the Grammy is always nominating non-classical producers that is making hits. And yes, I agree with you. Like Pharrell was a part of a lot of music with a lot of different artists, especially the Clipse. Yeah, and it was a commercially success, and we have this amazing rollout, but it wasn't like the singles didn't hit the top charts, you know. So I think the Grammy is always looking for that.
Yeah, I know there's always a kind of commercial aspect that the Grammys kind of look at as well, which is quite annoying because, you know, the point of the Grammys is meant to like maybe awarding musical excellence, whether it's sold 10 copies or 10 million copies. But of course, they want some commercialization to it because they want to bring those big artists to the awards and then more people will watch it, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would have thought he might have had his name in there. He did partially get a nomination. Piece by Piece was nominated as Best Music Film.
Yeah.
So I think it's in a category with like a few, you know, documentaries and stuff like that. Again, I don't know if it will win. I think when it comes to things like Best Music Film, I feel that's where they don't necessarily like the commercialized side. They like the kind of independent documentary type thing. So I'm not sure whether he'll get that one, but you know, he's got something in there at least.
Yeah. And it's such a shame, right? Because of course we are fans and we love the movie, but when you really look at to the movie and pay attention to the details, and oh man, like it's such a beautiful movie. Like I just wish like everybody could see this. Like I'm not even speaking about how I wanted to be a success. I just wish everybody can see this because it's a very good movie. It's a very, very, very good movie.
Yeah, it was. Yes, definitely.
Especially if you like music and you're passionate about music, like that movie is going to touch you 100%.
Yeah. What else have we got? A couple more Clipse bits. We had another music video for FICO. Again, another very dark video, plays into the whole kind of aesthetic of the previous videos and of the album itself. But another solid video, I thought.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. The artistic direction on the video, like amazing. The photography, amazing. The decisions that they make with the filmography, amazing. Yeah, I love how it's a really rap music video. You know, there's no fruity things, like they are not trying to be artsy. Like it's art and it's our rap music video. I love it.
Yeah, it's kind of dark and to the point. There's no fluff in there. There's no filler. There's no flashy lights. There's no dancing strippers. There's no none of that. It's a proper good dark video that ties in with the album really well.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I was going to ask you, did you see the set they did at Camp Flognar? Was it last weekend, I think it was?
Yeah, I saw some bits. I haven't seen it entirely yet, but yeah, I saw some bits and amazing, man.
It was a really good set. Annoyingly, the set they did at the festival was longer than the set they do at their own shows.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think the set at the shows was surprisingly quite short. Like it's only around an hour. And I think, at the festival, it went for like an hour 10. They had some extra little bits and pieces in there as well. But it was a very good set. It was very well put together. A good mixture of stuff from the new album. They also got Tyler up there to do the track with him.
Yeah.
Plenty of classics as well. So, yeah, a really good mix, a really good set. So it's definitely worth watching. If you haven't gone, if you had a chance to go to one of the gigs this year, or you have been, and you just want to kind of, relive some of it, then definitely get onto YouTube. You can find numerous people there that kind of ripped it from, I think it was on Amazon. They've ripped it and then re-uploaded it. So yeah, have a scout through there. If any of them have been sort of taken down and anyone needs a copy, then send me a message, because I did like download a copy basically to keep in case they got sort of taken down. So yeah, let me know. And also I watched Tyler's set as well, and Tyler's set was pretty decent.
Oh yeah, it was. Like I also saw some beats, like some little videos, and amazing, man. I mean, this guy is making performance like one better than another for I don't know, for the
Yeah.
last, I don't know, 10 years, man. It's so amazing to see.
You can tell so much effort goes into his whole sort of stage setup and the whole production behind him. It's like he's talked about that in interviews and even in songs. Like, you know, he's turned down money and turned down shows because they can't accommodate like the whole kind of setup that he has.
Yeah.
And obviously it costs, you know, a small fortune to do it, but I love the fact that it costs a small fortune, and I'm sure he has a manager and an accountant saying, no, please don't put that in your show. Please don't put that in your tour. Please, you don't need that. Don't do it. It's costing a lot of money. And he's like, no, fuck it. I want to have the best production I can possibly have. And he's doing that. And yeah, his set was really good.
Yeah, I saw it. And one thing that I thought it was amazing, that he was on Clipsy set and Gorilla set.
Okay, I didn't see that.
Yeah. He went to her stage and to the ASAP Rock stage also. Like he made
Okay.
like featurings on all
He was
those
doing the
stages.
rounds and turning up on all the features. Yeah.
Yeah, like we say in Brazil, like he shoot the what do you say in English in football when you kick the ball on the corner?
Mm-hmm.
How you say it? Like when
I don't
you
know.
you know when
I
you
don't know
have the
what you
corner,
mean.
you know when you have the corner, like when you
Yeah.
and you can kick it the ball besides the goal on the corner, the free kick to the big area. What is the name?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
On football, man, when you on
I
your
know football.
yeah. Sorry, it's just because in English, like I just think about
We're all
that. I never talk
we're all
about.
tired. We're all very, very tired. Jesus.
Okay, man,
Yeah.
forget about it,
Let's
man.
not try and
I'll
work
look
it
up
out. No.
for it. And the next episode, I try to explain what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, what Tyler did was amazing.
Yes, very much so. But I think that's kind of, you know, at his festival, that's kind of what you expect. You expect him to sort of pop up at different places where he's kind of featured with certain people or worked with them. But I think as an artist of his size, you could probably get away with not doing that. But
Yeah.
I like the fact that he does do it. He makes the effort to kind of go, because he's also a fan himself and he wants to kind of watch them and then be involved and do his bits as well. Because you saw him at the clip set. He was at the front, as always, rhyming along to every word, like jumping up and down and,
Yeah,
you know,
man.
just being a real fan, which is really good to see.
Yeah, man, it's amazing to see. You just want to be there with him. Like, let's go, man. Let's go word for word together. Man, it's so
Yeah.
amazing to see, man. And I might say that I think Pharrell was the one that I started to see doing this, like praising other artists, especially on hip hop, which on the 90s and in the 2000s was like wasn't seeing anyone praising other rappers or producers. Like everybody was like,
Mm-hmm.
no, I am the best, and it's just me, and that's it. And I think Pharrell was one of the first ones that I saw praising other artists, but Tyler, man, he's been doing for a very long time for every artist that he likes. Like every time he mentions an artist that he likes, he really gives the flowers to these artists. So it's
Yeah.
so beautiful to see this, man. And I think he kind of popularized that, because after that, in the last, I don't know, 5 years or maybe 10 years, we've been seeing more rappers, more hip hop artists doing the same.
Yeah, well, like hip hop's changed. In the 90s, it was, you know, obviously you had the whole East West thing during the kind of mid 90s. But yeah, it was, you know, it was very, I guess, macho type of, music. And it was very much, like, I'm the best MC around, I'm the best producer around. But now, music has with most things, it's become more collaborative.
Yeah, true.
And people kind of, are more, people realize that, there's more of a benefit to collaborating with people and not being, fighting against everybody. Of course, there are still, beefs in hip hop and in music. It's still quite, some quite big ones. But I think people are, generally kind of more open to collaborating and, working more closely with other artists and giving them their sort of, their props if they are a fan of them.
Oh yeah, true. I haven't thought about that because if you think about it, remember on the pandemic, a lot of rappers and hip hop artists were doing the verses. So
Yeah.
it was verses, but it was basically like they joined the stage together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So that
there was
might have helped.
no beef involved. It was just like,
Yeah,
we'll play our greatest hits, you play your greatest hits. Everybody will just love it. We'll pretend we're going against each other, but like, really we're just there to party and like, just play all the hits and have a good time.
yeah, exactly.
All right. Should we move on to some other news?
Yeah, let's do.
Let's go to Jupiter. So I compiled these notes, like a week ago or something. And at the time, they were about to do a Pharrell sneaker auction. So this is a bunch of sneakers. There were like maybe 50 pairs or something, 40 pairs of sneakers and shoes from Pharrell's personal collection. Most of them he had worn at some point. There were a few pairs in there that were like, dead stock, and they were just things that he had. He'd obviously been given and had just filed away in his storage. But I reckon probably 75% of all of the things in there were worn by him at some point.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
we've talked about those auctions previously, and I've only put one bid in on something previously. And then I've watched all of the others, and I've watched all the prices just go sky high and go crazy. And I'm like, no, I'm not bidding. But this time I was like, no, I'm bidding. I'm getting something.
Yeah.
So I had some dilemmas because there were a few items that I was interested in, and they were dotted around in the auction. So there was one right near the start, a couple in the middle, then one right in the end. So it was like, which one do I focus on? Which one do I go for? Because if I go for one of the early ones, I'm not going to then get I'm not going to spend more money and get the later one. But the later one might go for a massive bargain. So I was like, I'm in an R-ing. And I just thought, no, do you know what? I'm going to focus on this one. I'm going to bid on it. I know what my limit is going to be. And if I don't get it, then I'll move on to, the next one or whatever. So yes, out of that, I did win something. I did buy something.
Okay.
I don't have them yet. They've not even been shipped to me. So I can't hold them up and go, oh, look what I've got. But a lot of people did message me and did say, like, what did you win? And I said they have to listen to this episode of the podcast. So
me included.
Yes. And the item that I got was in honor of you.
Of you who?
Of you, Rafa.
Okay.
So the item that I got was the Nike Dunk Brazils.
Really? That's awesome,
Yes.
man. Yeah, that's so
There
cool.
were quite a lot of dunks in there, like lows and highs. The highs I didn't like at all. But there's a lot of like nice colorways of the lows. And I was like, I'm going to try and get one of these pairs because I don't think they'll go for massive money. The Bapes did, and some of the others did. But the Dunks, because there were quite a few pairs of them, quite a few different colorways, I thought, there might be the opportunity to get a pair here for a good price. So yes, I focused on the Brazils and I got the Brazils.
That's awesome, man.
So yes.
What is Pharrell's size?
It's exactly the same as me, a US 9.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, so he's like sample size, basically. All the samples that get made are always made in like US 9.
Yeah.
He has those perfect sample size feet. So yes, there were, I think there were some NMDs in there that were sort of unreleased. They were like prototypes or samples. There were some Louis Vuitton items in there that he'd worn. There were some Timberlands that he'd kind of customized. They were originally what I was going to go for, but the price of those went up quite high. And then, a bunch of Bapesters and then a bunch of Dunks as well. So yes, I got the Brazil Dunks. So When they turn up, I don't know when, I will be sure to show them on the podcast. They are worn by Pharrell. My next mission is to try and dig out some photos from somewhere of him wearing them. So, again, if anyone listening can picture in their head a moment in time when he was wearing a pair of Brazil Dunks, please let me know so I can try and look it up and try and find a photo to kind of, go with the certificate of authenticity. That would be great.
Oh yeah, true. I don't think when I think about it, I only can picture he wearing the Babesters, right? In Brazil color,
Yeah.
but the dunks I cannot remember. Yeah, yeah.
No, the Dunks, I think, would have been, he was wearing those late 90s to early 2000s. He was wearing a lot of Dunks, so I think they probably come from around that time. I don't think they're, recent or anything. So, yeah, it's going to be quite an old picture if there is one, but I'm going to try and have a dig around and try and find one. So, yeah, again, if anyone kind of, knows of an image, let me know, or if they can kind of think of an event or a photo shoot or something where they've seen him wearing a Brazil pair of Dunks, yeah, give me a shout and I will try and find that picture.
Yeah, the ones that caught my eye on the auction was the Nike Dunk Lows, the veneers. I think it came from a collection that is called Ugly Ducky, something like that.
Oh, yeah, the
This
ugly
is
duckling
one.
ones, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, with purple, green, and brown. And the reason that one caught my eye is because I was seeing like some old photos of Pharrell, of N.E.R.D. First off, like one of the first shows ever. I think it was in 2001, 2002 in California, and we have some like one of iconic photos of Pharrell performing. He wearing the N.E.R.D hat, the independent T-shirt, and he was wearing those dunks. And I saw those photos, I think was like 3 months ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I completely went berserk, like, oh, why I don't have those dunks. And I started to look up on Vinted, and I saw this guy selling them for 90 euros. So that was starting my journey. So I started to say, oh, I want to buy for 70. And he was like, okay, take it. And but at the same time, I was talking with another girl, and she was selling for like 85. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I wanna buy for 60. And she was like, okay, take it. And I started to, oh, okay, so I started to
Have you got a
print
collection
screen.
of them now?
No. I didn't buy both, but I started to
Okay.
print screening the conversation saying, oh, this person is offering me less. So can you offer me less? And
My
at the
gosh.
end, I swear to God, at the end, the guy sold me for 45 euros. Exactly.
Man.
But I had like 30 euros on credit. So at the end of the day, like I paid 15 euros for the pair of the dunks. And I was like, oh man, I was so happy about that. Yeah, exactly. And I was so happy about that. Yes, man. It's one of those pieces that I'm going to have. And when someone asks me why you have it, like, oh, it's because of N.E.R.D. That's what I told Juliana, by the way, just for her to let me buy it because I cannot buy any sneakers anymore.
You had to have a really good backstory to justify it.
Yeah, exactly. With the baby and all the diapers that we have to buy, man, I have to create all this romantic story right now to just to buy some pair of sneakers.
Yeah. Otherwise, at some point, Juliana would be like taking your shoes and the baby would be shitting in your sneakers.
Yeah, man. I don't doubt. I don't doubt.
And you don't want that. All right, some old sneakers that have recently made a comeback. I think I mentioned it on the little news section that I did on the last episode with Mike Etheridge. It had just been announced that the Boardflips are back.
Yes.
Yay.
Man,
So
I love it. Sorry, man. I just think I like the bird flips because it was the only pair of ice creams that I ever got. So I just like I hold a special space for them on my heart, you know.
is this your story again to justify now buying a new pair?
I'm a romantic, man.
It's
I'm a
it's in my
romantic.
heart. It's the
Yeah,
one and
yeah,
only
yeah.
pair
I'm a
I ever
cancer.
had.
No, I
So
remember
yes,
I think it was like 2 years ago. I sent you the photos that my mom sent me because my birthday is still in Brazil and the sole
mhm,
was completely fucked. And
yeah.
she sent me the photo.
Well, there you go. Another reason why you need to buy a new pair.
Yeah, exactly.
But yes, we saw the at Complex Con. We had the watermelon ones. They basically they sold out sort of pretty much straight away.
Yeah.
unsurprisingly.
Great campaign. The campaign was pretty cool,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. With I love the fact that they got Jimmy involved.
Yes. Shout out to
And
Jimmy.
Jimmy, yeah, I did message him at the time, and he did say he wanted to jump back on the podcast to kind of chat about them. So
Nice.
you may be hearing from Jimmy again soon. It'd be great to have him back on and talk about the new board flips. But yeah, we had that one colorway, and then at Complex Con they were also, I think, if you bought a pair, you were then entered into a raffle, I think, to be able to buy another colorway that's coming next year, which is going to be even more limited. They're not doing like a release of it. It's just going to be those people that have won the right to buy a pair can buy them, and kind of that's it. I think they said they're not going to go on general sale. So we are starting to see the board flips come back. I have to say, I've always said like I've never been a board flip fan. I'm not a fan of these, but I do like them a little bit better than the original ones because they're not quite as big and as chunky. They're a bit
Okay.
more tapered and sort of low profile at the front, which I think makes them look a little bit better. I did debate getting a pair just for the sake of getting a pair, but I didn't.
See? He's growing on you. Come on now.
It's not no, because I would never have worn them. I just wanted a pair just to just to have a
Yeah.
pair, basically, just to go.
Okay.
Which way's my camera? Just to go with the collection over there.
Yeah, show off.
You can see, yeah. But yeah, I didn't, and I didn't. I don't know how I feel about the packaging as well, because obviously the original board flips just came in a black cardboard box, which had the Cones and Bones character on top in sort of silver, and I think it said ice cream around the side. It was a very basic, cheap box. Obviously, these were the kind of cheaper ice creams, but now they've released them again in a sort of fairly basic cardboard box, but it has the print and the design of the boutiques on it. And like, I don't know how I feel about that. I would prefer they leave like that design with the boutiques. I would have preferred them to have really, like, if you're going to retro it, like retro the box as well, but do like a slightly nicer box, a more premium version of the box. So you could have it in black. But so as an example, I won't show you what I've got yet. I'll hide what the shoe is.
Okay.
But like, you can see the texturing on this box. Do something nice like that. Or like with the wet cements that came out last year that Jordan did, they had like a really textured box and stuff that went with the shoe itself.
Oh, yeah, true.
So like they could have done something like that. And obviously then you've then got the silver ice cream, you've got the silver logo on top. Like make that a bit more premium instead of like just being printed into the paper. Like make it like a foil that's been applied or something, or make it reflective or iridescent, or just do something like that. I think leave the boutique box for the boutiques.
Okay. Yeah, true.
Obviously not going to listen to me because they've already gone and done it. But yeah, that's what I wish they'd done.
Yeah, true. And I think I messaged you saying I just wish they figured out how to do something different with the boutiques, not just retro it, but trying to do something like for us fans, but also like for the new audience and saying like, see,
yeah,
something different here.
Yeah, so let's talk about the boutiques. So on the Complex Sneaker podcast 2 weeks ago, I want to say, they were kind of talking about, it was after Complex Con, after they'd done their top 25 sneakers of the year or whatever it is. They were doing what their favorite sneakers of the year were that didn't make the list, basically. And Upscale Vandal had the the board flips, sorry. And he talked about, the kind of rollout of it and the design of them and the kind of nostalgia that goes with them. Because obviously, he's don't break your chair. He's a he works very closely with the Clipse. He's an OG BBC fan and all that. So he was talking about the board flips. He then sort of mentioned, or they asked him, like, so are we going to see more releases of the board flip and more ice cream stuff? Yes. And his answer was something along the lines of, BBC are currently going through all of their original OG archives and looking at stuff that they could potentially bring back. And then he was asked, oh, does that mean they're going to bring back the boutiques? And he said, well, he refused to answer. He said, oh, I can't say anything, but something might be happening, you know.
Ooh.
I've heard rumors in the past that they were trying to bring the boutiques back. I've heard from people that have seen samples of new boutiques. So it sounds like there's going to be new boutiques.
Okay.
Now, again, I don't know how to feel about this. I think I get the feeling what they will do is they will do an almost exact replica of the originals. They'll do like a dollar and diamond. They'll do a beepers, all that kind of. They'll do a money rolls, and I don't think they should.
Yeah.
I know they're kind of, those are iconic patterns for the brand, but like you say, I would like to see them do something different.
Me too.
And I sort of say that for a couple of reasons. One, I think, you know, just retroing the same thing, I think, you know, devalues the original, not in a monetary sense, but just from a kind of collecting point of view, in a sort of whole nostalgia point of view. And then I just think, you know, BBC relies very heavily on these kind of OG patterns and prints and stuff. And I would love to see them be a bit bolder and try and adapt them in some way, or bring out new prints, or utilize different graphics that they've, you know, used over the last 20 odd years. You know, they've got like thousands, hundreds of thousands of graphics they could possibly use. So I'd like to see them do something different.
Yeah.
And I think if they do release them, like the original boutiques were like $200, £200 basically at that point. There is no way on earth we will get a shoe of that quality for $200 now. Like a Jordan costs €220 now, $200, $210.
Yeah.
You know, shoes that aren't that particularly well made cost nearly $200 now. So I don't think we're either going to get like a less premium shoe, or we're going to get a premium shoe, but the price will be ridiculous. The price will be really high. It'll be like $300 or $350 or something crazy.
Yeah. Or they are going to lower the quality.
Yeah. I think they're going to want to. I would love for them to do a higher priced one, because I think if you do a higher priced one, you may as well then make it really limited again. You may as well only do 5,000, you know, pairs like they did with the originals, or 5,500 or whatever. You know, had different numbers for different designs.
Yeah.
I think you could do that. But I think obviously they're going to want to, they're a business. They're going to want to earn money and make a profit from it. So I think they will probably lower the quality to keep the price down. And I think they'll probably price it at under 200. I think, I imagine there's probably conversation. Like, I don't know, if I was in the room, I would say, well, why don't we price it at 200 so it matches what it was 20 years ago?
Yeah.
But I think, you know, because $200 or euros isn't that expensive for a pair of sneakers nowadays. Like I say, Jordans cost more than that now. But I think they're going to want to try and be as accessible as possible. And they're going to want to try and make as much money as possible from it. So I think there'll be lower quality, lower price.
Yeah, I think 180 will be a good price to start. You know,
I think if they do like a lower quality version, I could see them even being under 150.
Yeah, that would be bad.
But it really depends, what the kind of quality is going to be, and how much it sort of costs them. Because if you look at an OG pair of boutiques, and let me grab a pair because I'm talking about them, and I've got pairs behind me. So hold on 1 second. So, I'm trying to get it in front of the camera.
Can I just say that I never saw a pair of boutiques in front of me? Not ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, if and when you ever visit, I'll let you sit here and try them all on if you want.
Oh yeah. 100%.
So these are like,
I might steal some.
Yeah, exactly. These are mad dusty because they're just sat on the side for ages. But like the quality of this leather and the printing is like just top notch. You look at the on the tongue here, like the stitching and everything, top quality. The inside, the leather goes inside. The iconic, I'm trying to get it the right way around in front of the camera.
Amazing, man.
Like the translucent sole, Like, are they really going to be able to
Wow.
reproduce that for like $150 or something again? Probably not. So, and I just noticed there's some crap on here because I have worn these once. So, like, you know, just the stitching, the detail here,
So
like,
good.
that's a shoe now. If you made that shoe at that level of quality, and then again with the box, really high quality box, all the little accessories, the specially printed paper that it comes with, you know, the brown paper with the diamond and dollars on, all that stuff. Like, that's a really expensive shoe.
Yeah. One question: how much it cost back in the day?
200.
100.
Yeah, to buy them. Yeah.
Wow. And
But I
that
think,
promotion two for one was for the boutiques also, or just the board flips?
no, all of the boutiques were always 200.
Oh, okay.
And like, yeah,
Wow.
the stitching, this is all stitched and everything. So to
Wow.
like, you know, make this quality of shoe again, I don't think you'd be able to buy that for like less than 400. So
And
I'm I'm interested to see what corners they cut and how they change this. Because like, do they go down the route like they did with Reebok a few years ago and they make that kind of cheap version? So again,
yeah,
there's one behind me. Hold on.
yeah. I also have those. I mean, the quality is good if you think about it.
The
For
quality,
a Reebok,
I did a whole like video review of these, so
yeah,
people can find it on the website. These are actually, yeah, it's not as high quality leather, but you've got like the detailing around the tongue again.
yeah.
This is kind of like a suede and a kind of cotton and stuff, and not sort of full leather. But these were only 100, I think, or maybe
I
even like
think it was
90
100.
euros.
No, it was 120. I think.
I didn't pay that. I
Yeah,
think I
no.
paid less than 100 for these.
Yeah, I paid for 65 euros for mine. Yeah,
Yeah. So for like the price, the quality of these is quite good, but obviously
yeah.
you don't get like what we got on the originals.
Yeah.
So I think if they want to keep the price down, they're probably going to go down this kind of route here, and they're going to obviously it won't be Reebok branded and stuff, but I think
Yeah.
it'll be this kind of cheaper leather. There'll be less leather, you know, but more kind of suede and more material on there. Obviously, yeah, you won't get the nice sole and stuff. Yeah, I'm interested to see what they do and how they do it.
Yeah.
And again, I imagine, as with most of the kind of flagship BBC releases, they'll probably do it at Complex Con again next year or the year after or something. So it'll be almost impossible to get hold of a pair.
And I was just seeing the boutique that you showed with right now, and just to see that this is a 20-year-old pair of shoes,
Yeah,
and it still look like this. I mean,
there's
I'm
barely.
sure you really take care of these, but still, like there's some sneakers that I have for I don't know 8 years that I really take care of them, and
Yeah.
the midsole is all yellow. There's a lot of marks on it, and this looks like
Yeah. See,
almost
this obviously the
brand
sole
new.
is yellowed very, very slightly on these,
I mean, of
but
course.
yeah, like that is still like
Yeah.
crispy white almost. There's a fucking hair or something, some shit stuck to it. Yeah, it's still like really nice and white. The leather is still in really good condition. There's like no kind of
Really good.
cracking or flaking or anything. And it's a 20-year-old shoe. Admittedly, they've only been worn once, but you know, even most shoes that just sit on a shelf for 20 years, they start to crumble, they start to fall apart eventually. These are still
Amazing.
solid, completely solid. I would have no worry about wearing these outside right now. And obviously, with some shoes that are 20 years old, you're like, oh shit, the second I step outside, they're going to fall apart and, you know, I'm going to lose the sole down the drain or something. But these are just
Yeah.
like, yeah, man, such
Amazing.
good quality.
Yes.
So yeah, let's see what we get.
Let's see. Let's see.
Yes.
I mean, I feel the same as you. Like I feel like I don't know how I feel about this, but since I don't have any, I think is also you will be welcome. I would say,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But I just wish that they try to came up with some new colorways at least, not just try to retro the classic ones, and
Mm-hmm.
just try hard. No, don't be lazy and just retro it. Like try to do something new. Like we are going to appreciate it.
Yeah. We've seen with like, you know, when BBC does these kind of like collaborations with people, or they bring back kind of iconic designs, they always sell. They always sell
Yeah.
really well. So if they bring back the boutique, they could do like some mad design, some brand new patterns, mad colorways. People are still going to buy them.
Yeah,
If they're completely different to these, I'm still going to buy a bunch of them.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Exactly.
I really think they should do it. What I would like to see, I just thought of, is there's like a robot design they had from back in the day, and they've reused it a few times. I would like to see that on the shoe, because like I've got like a women's one behind me, which has got like the teddy bears on it. But I would love like the BBC robot. And what I would also like, I just thought of this as well, BBC, if you want me to consult on anything, then, you know, my rates are negotiable and quite good. But the BBC,
Yeah.
what's this called? The Cosmic Space, I think, print.
Yeah.
But with the running dog and, you know, the kind of astronaut being pulled along by him, the planets and stuff like that. Yeah, I'd like to see this kind of pattern on there as well, this sort of thing. I think this could work quite well on a shoe. You'd have to obviously adapt it slightly. It couldn't be all spread out like this. But I think with this kind of pattern and these kind of graphics, you could do something quite cool.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, BBC, if you're listening, you know, if you want to get in touch, you know, you literally do know my phone number. You know where I am. Let's get on to a couple of other releases quickly. We've previously talked about the Adidas EVO SL human race collaboration. So this is the running shoe, basically. You know, Adidas do a super expensive pair that professional athletes, you know, use. But the EVO SL is meant for like, you know, normal people, basically. And I think they're about $150 or $200 or something. We've previously had a white and black version. There is now a brown version. So if you are a runner, if you are a fan of the EVO SL, you can get a brown pair. We are recording this on Friday the 28th, so it is Black Friday at the moment. I have seen the white and the black pairs, I should say, in pretty much every size for pretty much half price over the last couple of days in the sales. Yeah, so again, if you're a runner, if you're into the EVO SL, if you're just a Pharrell fan that wants some Pharrell related sneakers, you can hunt around and find them for like, I think the lowest I saw them was $100.
Okay. I saw them, I think the lowest that I saw them was for 98, something like that.
Yeah.
98, 96.
Yeah, so you can get them on sale at the moment. So yeah, have a hunt around. But yeah, now there's also a brown version out there. Let's briefly talk about the Jellyfish. We've obviously had a number of releases over the last couple of months. I think we've got 4 colorways so far. And, you know, there's been a Seoul pop-up store in Korea a couple of weeks ago as well. So they're really pushing the Jellyfish quite hard. I think in the Complex Sneakers of the Year episode, it finished, I think they rated it in the, was it top 3 or somewhere, top 5 maybe? I think it ranked kind of, yeah, I'm sure I remember them talking about it and it ranked kind of quite highly. It did also win an award at the FNAAs. It was named Shoe of the Year, and FNAA is, you'll have to wait while I load the page because I've got no idea. It is the Footwear News Achievement Awards.
Okay.
No idea what that is and if it's reputable, but it was posted in quite a few places online, so I assume it is. So yes, they named the Jellyfish Shoe of the Year. I don't think Pharrell or anyone else was at the awards to accept it, but they won it, so people obviously are feeling the Jellyfish. But for me, I'm still waiting for that all red pair. That red pair that he keeps wearing, they look amazing.
Yeah, I would love the green ones, man. Like green's my favorite.
Yeah, so far we've got like the orange ones, the green ones, the grey ones, blue, and then I think I saw recently there's like a triple black version coming soon as well. It's like an all black. So yeah, we've got 4 or 5 colorways at the moment, and definitely many more to come, I think, because I think the hype around the Jellyfish has been pretty big this year, and they've obviously all sold out, so it's doing well.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, Pharrell has been using like a bunch of other colorways that is not never going to come out, but they also look pretty good.
Yeah, I seriously hope the red pair that he's been wearing for the last few months do come out because they look really nice. But yeah, we'll see.
True.
But if you're not necessarily a fan of the jellyfish, you think maybe they're a bit too big, or you think, oh, $300, ouch, that's a bit too expensive. You can get the jellyfish light. You can get the squid. So Adidas kind of shock dropped these or announced them a couple of weeks back. So these are actually the Adistar XLG 2.0, but they are being referred to as the squid because they are kind of, although a squid is bigger than a jellyfish, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. But these are, being known as a squid, and they're kind of like, a jellyfish light. So they have a very similar silhouette. They're not quite as chunky. They don't have all the flappy, sticky out bits on the side, but they have exactly the same sort of look, the same colorway, at least for the orange one. There's a few other colorways as well. And I think from a distance, you probably wouldn't tell that someone's wearing this Adistar XLG. You'd probably, from a distance, you'd probably think, oh yeah, that's a jellyfish.
Yeah, true.
So if you are after a slightly cheaper version, a slightly more affordable version, then you can go onto the Adidas website and you can go to certain select retailers as well, and you can cop one of the, I think, 4 different colorways they've got out at the moment. I saw when I mentioned these, your face was a bit like, are you not a fan?
Yeah, man. But it's not that I'm just not a fan. It's just because I hate that Adidas always do that. Why? Like they done with a bunch of other pairs. And I get it, it's a money grab. But man, the sneaker just released it. So wait a little bit, Give it a time.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
Yeah, they're clearly kind of cashing in on the hype of the jellyfish. Obviously, all the jellyfish sold out. I imagine there's a lot of people out there that are like, oh, I really want to buy a pair of jellyfish. When can I get a pair? And then they see these, which look like jellyfish, and they're half the price, and they go, well, they look pretty much the same. Yeah, they're a big chunky shoe. They've got the colourful bits on, the same sort of design. So go for them. There's obviously pent up purchasing power there from people around the world. So I can see why Adidas have done it, but I'm with you. It's like really, do you have to release a kind of a light version? Maybe do it in a year's time or something. Once most of the kind of main colorways are out and people have really got to get a pair of jellyfish and enjoyed them and stuff like that, then maybe start to release these other ones. But meh. They're a business, aren't they? They got to make money.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, that is Zara's work, Like, don't do that. Let Zara do that and make the knockoff version of your shoe and ask for 30 euros for it. Don't do yourself, like.
Yeah, it's weird that it's like you say, almost like a knockoff of their own shoe that they've already got.
Yeah, but I mean,
yeah. If you do like them, if you want a pair, if you want a cheaper sort of jellyfish, you can get them from Adidas and, like I say, street retailers.
But I just want to mention just one more thing about the jellyfish is like, who would have thought, right? Like, remember when we started to talk about this shoe? We are kind of hating on it, and right now they are like top 3 sneakers of the year. Crazy.
I know. I said I was like, oh, I don't like chunky shoes. I think I said I like the design of them, but I don't like chunky shoes, so I'm not really into them. But then, the more and more we've seen them, the more they've kind of progressed the rollout, and they've had a really good rollout with them as well. They grew on me sort of very, very quickly, and I think it wasn't long after when we first saw them, I was like, actually, they do look kind of cool. They do look all right. And now I'm like, now I'm entering every raffle possible to try and get a pair. I still can't get one.
Yeah, that's why. Like, what number of this episode? 72.
Yeah.
So let's pinpoint this. That Steve said that he doesn't care about the board flip ones on episode 72. Let's fast forward in a few episodes on future. Let's see Steve's opinion on the board flips one. Returns.
Let's do a review at episode 100 and see where I stand on them. See if there's a collection of 50 of them behind me or something.
Yeah.
No, there won't be. All right, last couple of bits. As I mentioned, we're recording this on Black Friday. If you shop at BBC EU, you're probably aware of this already, but I wanted to mention it. There is an absolute shit ton of stuff on sale at the moment for Black Friday and probably for the rest of the week or whatever on BBC EU. I got like, I think most people, if you order stuff online, you've got like an early access email. As soon as I got that, I clicked on there to see what there was. There was so much stuff, literally hundreds of items, and not just like, you know, all these items and then just like only an extra small available. They had like a wide range of sizes for a lot of these items that they had. So if you've been looking at stuff on the BBC website recently and you haven't kind of, you know, bit the bullet and purchased anything, I would highly recommend going and looking at the sale now because there is loads of stuff in there. And there's some quite good stuff as well. Some bits I saw that I was interested in. I've bought a few other bits and pieces this week, and Christmas is coming up as well. So I decided not to buy any BBC stuff, but there certainly were some things I was interested in. So yeah, get on there and check that out. And I think even some of the items are up to 60% off. And then I think if you then also spend over a certain amount, they then give you an extra something off as well. So there's some really good deals to be had there. So yeah, get over and check that out. Also, BBC EU, starting today on the Friday and for this weekend. So once you hear this, it's probably already happened. But there is a pop-up store in East London, a satellite store that they're putting up. I think it's called the Truman Brewery. It's where they always do their pop-ups and their kind of sample sales. So that's happening this weekend. When they used to do these, it was great because I always knew people that worked at the store and worked, you know, there and could always get me stuff. Obviously, now they don't have the store and it's just people in the office. And I know a few people in the office and a few people that work there still, but, you know, I don't think they're necessarily going to be working at the sale, let's say. So I can't be like, could you go around and take a picture of every item that's in an XL size, please, and send it to me and send me the price list of everything, please, like I used to be able to do. So unfortunately, I'll be missing out on that, but they normally have some really good bargains at the pop-up satellite stores they do, and you get a lot of sample stuff there as well. So definitely worth checking out. If this episode somehow gets out before the end of the weekend, I don't think it will, but if it does by some miracle and you're in London, then yeah, get yourself over to East London and check that out.
Cool. I would love to go.
I think that's pretty much all the news.
Yeah.
I was just going to mention it. Yeah, we did it. We got there. It went longer than I thought it would, but we got through everything. One thing I was going to mention, because I mentioned I bought the Brazil Dunks. One purchase that showed up today. One raffle that I did win. If you're watching the video, then you can see these.
Black cats.
The Black Cat 4s that came out today.
Yeah.
A very nice shoe. So I've got the Black Cat, these from last year or maybe the year before. Still never worn them. Although they look really nice. I just haven't had a chance to wear them. I think I prefer the 3s over this 4, if I'm honest.
Really?
Yeah, because with the 3s, I think I like the silhouette of a 3 better anyway. But what I really like about the 3 is the lacing has like a leopard print to it, like a really dark like leopard, like a Black Panther basically.
Okay,
it's got really nice laces with it, and they're really cool. Whereas these are just
do that.
Yeah, it was really nice little touch.
It's a detail just for you. Like it's not for everybody.
Yeah,
you know it because you touch it, right?
Yeah,
that's cool, man.
So yeah, I think I prefer them over these 4s. I will say, like, I know these are never going to resell like the 2020s, which was selling for like 1,000.
Yeah.
But if anyone wants to buy these off of me, then, you know, they're unworn. I'll probably end up keeping them, but I don't know how many were released, so I don't know how many people will be looking for them. But if you're after a pair, what size are they? Size 43, so US 9.5, UK 8.5. If you need a pair, let me know, because I probably would part with them for the right price. But otherwise, yeah, I'll keep them and I'll wear them. So there's that. And I think that's about all I've purchased recently.
Yeah. My last purchase was those Dunks that I told you about. I can show you.
Let's have a look.
Look at
They're nice. I really like the colorway, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going to remember remember them forever because I only paid 15 euros for them. Yeah. And I also
Cheapest
got
pair of dunks ever.
Yeah, and I also got the Jordan ones UNC, the Reimagine, and I paid 80 euros for them. It was, I think, 60% off discount. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
It's crazy at the moment. Like this year, and probably the bit of last year as well, like Jordans are just sitting. Jordans that would normally sell out like that, especially 3s and 4s, they're still sitting on shelves. I was looking today online, and there are like the Jordan 4 mochas. They're on sale. They're down to like 120 euro. There's the what's the black pair with like the bits of blue and little bits of red on that came out start of this year? I can't remember what they're called. No, the Jordan 4s, but I can't remember what they're called, the colourway. Anyway, yeah, they're still sitting. They're still on shelves. And I've seen those on sale this week as well for about 120. So
even for resellers, you can buy a lot of Jordan 1s, 2, and 3s for retail price now.
Yeah, it's crazy how they're just sitting now. How the sneaker bubble has partly burst.
Yeah, I mean Nike really went against those guys, and I think if the bubble was bursted, was by Nike. You know, like
over the pandemic, they put out so many retros and so many colorways of everything, didn't they? That I think everybody just got a bit sick of it eventually. Yeah. Especially with like the dunks and stuff. There's like every colorway imaginable with like every dunk. Yeah, and then, I think there's a lot of people out there that like could never really get a Jordan, or maybe couldn't afford a pair of Jordans, or didn't want to get them. And over pandemic, because so many different colorways were retroed and put out, everybody managed to get a Jordan 1 or a 3 or a 4 or whatever they'd been looking for years or really wanted to get. And now they're just like, well, I've got a pair of Jordans now. I've managed to get a pair, and great. I don't need to buy more of them. Yeah. So now they're just sitting when normally they would, just sell out instantly. Now you can just walk into pretty much any store. Like even here in Finland, like you can walk into JD Sports here and they've got Jordan 3s and 4s on the wall, and they've got pretty much every size.
100%.
And you go back,
especially this year,
you go back 4 or 5 years, they'd have been gone within the first few days. Now stuff there is there 6 months later.
Yeah, like I was hearing a podcast, like a sneakerhead podcast, and the guy was saying like he had like approximately like 100 pair of Dunk Pandas on his storage just because he was like, oh, but I still made a profit. Like I still having lost money on those pandas because I was selling on the pandemic. I was selling pandas for $500, $600. I thought, wow. Yeah. And right now you can go directly to the store or even online and pay like 50 or 60 euros for them.
I could walk from my house to the metro and I'd probably see like 3 or 4 people wearing fucking pandas.
Yeah, pandas everywhere.
Madness.
Yeah.
All right, should we wrap it up there then?
Let's wrap it up. I have some diapers to change.
All that good stuff. Lovely. All right, great stuff. Well, thank you for tuning in as always, everyone.
Yes.
I will put some links in the show notes, which you can find in your podcast app of choice. You can also head over to the website to see all of the links and show notes. That's the others.net. Once you're over there, you can also go to the About page and find all of our social media stuff and things like that where you can follow us. I'm generally Steve R. Penny. Is Sneakartel2. But again, just head over to the website for those links. And then also, if you're listening to this in a podcast player, which I think most people are, be aware that, these videos do go out on YouTube as well, full videos of our actual faces talking directly to you and holding up random shoes and waving them around. So if you want to see the video version, then you can get that in Spotify directly. Spotify will have that. It's also on our website and it's on YouTube as well. So you can head over there and subscribe and like and all the stuff that the kids say nowadays. You can go there and do that. Yeah. But yeah, that's it for this time. Thank you, everybody. We'll catch you next time. Bye. Bye bye.
Thank you, everybody. Bye bye.